After taking home the CFP title and Heisman Trophy, what will star quarterback Josh Pinto do? And after bringing the program its first national title, what's in store for Coach Grimble and this Stanford program? That and more is coming up next. Hey now, say now, welcome back to the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty. It's your boy Fargo, and we are back again with Season 5's offseason coming our way. 4 years in and we're national champions, but we still have more to do here in this dynasty and more to accomplish, and that all sets forth here in the offseason. First order of business was finding out which players were deciding to leave the program, and our first big domino was Josh Pinto. He was a projected 4th round pick going into the players leaving stage, and we had zero chance of persuading him to come back. So he will be leaving and moving on to the NFL, and this program will have a new starting quarterback after Pinto being at the helm 2 years in a row. Good luck to him and the pros. Next up was our top receiving target, Mikael Skinner, 90 overall tight end, and we were able to convince him to stay. He as well was projected as a 4th rounder. He'll come back for his redshirt senior year and hopes to boost his NFL draft day stock. Next up is the ever so important Sataki Bodie. He was a backup quarterback last year at 80 overall. We were able to get him to come back to school, and he'll have an opportunity to battle out for that starting job with Pinto moving on. Next, we had defensive tackle Noah Sanders. He was a junior 80 overall player who we actually redshirted with the idea of bringing him back as a starter. He's deciding to leave and move on due to a playing time deal breaker. So good luck to him and his next school. Next up was halfback Avery Lamour. He was one of the freshmen we recruited in the last recruiting cycle, and unfortunately we were not able to get him to stay. So we have 3 players leaving that are 90 overall or higher, including Jalen Mbakwe, Josh Pinto, and Noah Sanders at 89 overall. We also will be losing starting right tackle Jack Small, defensive tackle Bryce Jenkins to graduation, Chris Davis and Ryan Howerton, another starting tackle and Evan Lawrence, and then defensive tackle Joe Asayan, as well as safety Damani Maxon. So those are all the major impact players leaving the school this year. So we're going to have our hands full trying to replace this talent going into. So this year's draftees included wide receiver Jalen Mbakwe and corner Coy Beasley, both going in round 1. Josh Pinto, the Heisman Trophy winner, does settle in as a round 4 draft pick. Sterling Sanders, the big defensive tackle, was also a 4th round draft pick, while Jack Small and Bryce Jenkins rounded out the draftees, both at round 7. At the early National Signing Day period, we came in with the 2nd ranked recruiting class at this point, with 6 5-stars, 13 4-stars, and 1 3-star for a total of 20 players. And at the end of it all, the final recruiting ranking, we finished 3rd with 30 players coming into the program, 6 5-stars, 18 4-stars, 4 3-stars. We did have a couple 2-stars in there, so that's a little embarrassing. But all in all, the 3rd ranked class in the nation. And our recruiting class was highlighted by edge Ricky Hardy with star development. He's a power rusher with 89 strength and 85 power moves. With 82 speed, he should be a decent lineman for us. Dante Scruggs has star development at quarterback. We had Larry Heslip. He's going to be a transfer coming in with star dev, the junior from Dallas, Texas. We also had halfback Brian Pounds. He's going to be a transfer sophomore. He has elite dev with 93 speed. We had high school Dom Eakin, the right tackle with raw strength and elite dev as well. Cornerback Larry Joseph. He's a star corner with 5-star corner with star dev. Mo Apple. He's a wide receiver transfer coming over from Kendallville, Indiana, sitting at 5'9" and 185 pounds. We also had Curtis Grimes, a star wide receiver from West Hills, California. Eric Battles, a star elite wide receiver from California. Mike Roto, the well-rounded right guard with elite dev. Tyler Folk, star dev with right tackle. And then Terrell Streeter, the Mike linebacker with star dev as well. We also had Forrest Paris, a 3-star guard with star. Going into position changes, Mo Apple was a player I was interested in maybe making a change. He was buried on the depth chart at this point with the transfer coming over at 82 overall. Looking at our running back rooms, it did have a lot to be desired at this point, as Brian Pounds was 86 overall and we didn't have any other player that was over 80 at that point. And I think Mo Apple, with his size and skill set, should make a pretty decent running back, and he'll likely get more playing time at that position. So we went ahead and moved him from wide receiver to halfback, and he had an 87 overall with that change as a backfield threat, immediately making him one of the highest ranked running backs on the team. Next up, going into player development, we saw Cameron Hazelwood, the halfback, get his depth trait upgraded to impact. Good to see that impact change for him, as he was a pretty impactful player on offense at times when we needed a shakeup at running back. We also had another player get their development trait change, and it was tight end Mikael Skinner, his depth trait up to elite going into his senior year. So, taking a look at the rest of the trending results here in this offseason, we see that TJ Blanco, the star corner, as the top rated player at 96 overall. We did have Mike linebacker Larry Helsliff come in at 91 overall to help lead our linebacking core. Pat McLaughlin was 91 overall. Mo Apple, with that position change, is also up to 91 overall. Dallas Kuntz, the right guard, is 90 overall. Brian Pounds, the transfer running back, at 90 overall. We already talked about Mikael Skinner. He's up to 90 overall for his senior year. And Marvin Childress, 90 overall quarterback, by far the best QB on the roster. He will likely be our starting quarterback this year. Heath Sun, wide receiver, going into his redshirt sophomore year, is at 87 overall. And Larry Nata, the defensive tackle, also a redshirt sophomore, at 86 overall to round out our top players on the team going into this year. So our schedule for this year, we open at home against the 8-6 Fresno State Bulldogs. We then travel on the road to kick off conference play at Tulane and then at Florida State. Return home to take on Syracuse before heading back on the road against Pittsburgh. We then have back-to-back home games against Boston College and number 7 Miami. And then we head on the road against number 18 Kansas State at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. And then we wrap up conference play at home against Wake Forest and then at Virginia Tech before having a late season bye week before heading to Cal to play the Bears, and then we return home against Notre Dame. The top 25 ranking sees those same Notre Dame Irish number one in the standings, with Georgia coming in at number 2 and your defending champion Stanford Cardinal at number 7 to start the season. After having a Heisman Trophy winner last year, this year we unfortunately don't get any love in the preseason ranking, as Akili Smith Jr., the quarterback from Houston, is currently the favorite to take home the trophy. Our preseason All-Americans included star cornerback TJ Blanco making the preseason first team on defense, our only first team player. The second team included halfback / wide receiver Mo Apple, right guard Dallas Kuntz. The ACC preseason All-Americans included the aforementioned Mo Apple, as well as halfback transfer Brian Pounds, tight end Mikael Skinner, defensive tackle Lee Nata, and then TJ Blanco again making the ACC preseason All-American for the first teams. The preseason second team for the ACC included junior wide receiver Pat McLaughlin, guard Dallas Kuntz, edge Adam Chauvelin, the redshirt senior, Mike linebacker Larry Heslop, wheel linebacker Trey Roden, and then kicker Dakota Clark rounds out our preseason All-Americans. So it's time to hit the field to see what these new players look like in action, and starting off, we have a new QB1 under center and Marvin Childress coming in at a 90 overall. He's got 91 medium accuracy, 92 short accuracy with 82 deep. 96 throw power, so he can pretty much make every throw in the book. The big difference between him and Josh Pinto's last year's starter is the athleticism, as Childress only comes in with 74 speed, so he's going to be doing a majority of his damage inside the pocket. And these are the big guys up front who will be protecting him, with Dallas Koontz as the only returning starter. Ultimately, I think Childress is going to give us another good year at the quarterback position, and we should be able to win a lot of games due to his ability. Ultimately, he is going to do a lot of that in the pocket, so the protection will need to hold up, but he should be able to make every throw in the book. The new skill players will include Mo Apple, the converted halfback, Brian Pounds, another transfer, and then Donovan Hamilton, a wide receiver who's going to get his first consistent playing time with the team. Mo Apple, I thought, was a legit candidate to be a halfback. Though he only stands at 5'9", 189 pounds, he's got 91 speed, 79 carrying, but I do think he can make a lot of plays on the outside. Brian Pounds, he's going to do a lot of his damage inside at 6'1", 229 pounds, but he also has 93 speed. And then Donovan Hamilton, 6'3" wide receiver with 96 speed. We obviously have to find a way to get him on the field, and I think he's going to be a nice, compatible wide receiver with Sun and Pat McLaughlin. Flipping over to the defensive side, our D-line is going to be led by senior Adam Chauvelin, with Lee Nada, Parker Sizemore, and Kiki Feeney being the first-time starters on the team. Nata is a redshirt sophomore who's got some really good ratings at 86 overall, and he's going to lead the big guys up front. His ratings really came around. The former 4-star recruit from Bellflower, he's got 90 power moves along with 88 power rating, which I believe comes out to about 80 strength or 90 strength. He's got 71 quickness, 93 run stopping ability to go along with that pass rush, and he should be able to not only disrupt the pass but also stop the run. The linebacking core will be led by senior transfer Larry Heslop, along with Ethan Workman, David Canada, and Trey Rolden, the star from last year, making out a pretty good linebacking core. Larry Heslop, he's from Dallas, Texas. He transferred over for his senior year, and look, this man can play all 3 downs. He can stop the run, he can defend the pass, and he can also rush the passer. Definitely someone who's going to lead this defense and get us stops whenever we need to desperately. He was the standout player in open practice as he defends a pass that's behind the receiver here, and then on the following clip, he's going to stuff the run after being unblocked. He's going to be the leader of this defense. The secondary will be led by TJ Blanco, along with returning safety Larry Patausi, rounding out with new starters Ty Price at strong safety, Willie Freese at corner, and then Larry Joseph, a true freshman at 78 overall, to round out the secondary for this defense. True freshman Larry Joseph will be the biggest question mark in the defense in the secondary. The 5-star boundary corner from Kentucky. He comes in with 77 man coverage with 76 press. His zone coverage is only rated at a 70 with his play recognition at 74. But one of the intriguing traits, his athleticism. 93 speed, 95 acceleration, can pretty much cover any wide receiver in the country. He's someone that will be tested, as obviously you've got a shutdown corner in TJ Blanco, and Willie Freese is a pretty legit corner as well. So that's going to make Larry Joseph the target in the secondary for the offenses that want to try to test us in the pass game. However, he should have his hands full and should be able to succeed. So that wraps up today's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Year 5 kicks off with us at home against Fresno State, with your Stanford Cardinal as defending champions. The next chapter in building a dynasty continues on. Thank you and have a good one.